What if I told you there was a food that tastes incredible, it's incredibly low in calories, it is filling, and it's one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet? Well, this food exists, and this food is the greatest food for fat loss. That food is fruit. These are the 5 reasons why fruit is the greatest fat loss food on the planet. First things first, of course, if you want to lose fat, you're going to have to be in a calorie deficit. And being in a calorie deficit means you got to eat less calories. And fruit is very, very low calories considering the amount of volume that you can eat. If we compare your favorite snacks to what fruit looks like, let's look at how you can make up 1,000 calories. If you wanted to get 1,000 calories from your favorite Ben & Jerry's ice cream, this is going to be 400 grams of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, which is a little bit less than one of those little tubs. Jelly beans or some other kind of lollies, 250 grams. A Snickers bar, 200 grams. Okay, so as we can see here, it's between 400 and 200 grams. So not a whole lot of volume. Let's compare this to fruit. Apples. To get 1,000 calories from apples, you need to eat 2 kilograms. 2 kilograms. Pineapple, also 2 kilograms. Strawberries, 3 kilograms. Watermelon, 3.3 kilos. What do you think is going to make you feel more full here? 2 kilos of apples or 200 grams of Snickers? 3 kilos of strawberries or 400 grams of Ben & Jerry ice cream? I think you know the answer to this one. Fruit has so few calories for the amount of volume you get out of it. It is very, very, very hard to overeat fruits because of how low their calories are. Particularly look for juicy fruits. Look for fruits like berries. Look for fruits like watermelon, like pineapples, apples, things that are juicy. Because when they're juicy, it usually means they're higher in water content. If they're higher in water content, there's just more volume for the amount of calories. Good luck trying to eat 3 kilos of strawberries. That's going to be a mission. Number 2 is that fruit is insanely nutrient dense. Fruit is one of the most nutrient dense foods on the planet. I mean, let's look at strawberries, for example. Let's say you were to take on this mammoth 3 kilo strawberry challenge. The nutrients you're looking at from doing that is vitamin B1, 60% of daily intake, vitamin B2, 51%, B3, 72%, B5, 75%, B6, 108%, folate, 180%, vitamin C, nearly 2,000%, vitamin E, 56%, vitamin K, 55%, calcium, 51%, copper, 117%, iron, 98%, magnesium, 98%, manganese, 480%, phosphorus, 99%, potassium, 142%, selenium, 22%, zinc, 30%. As you can see here, a ridiculous amount of nutrients. Now, you're probably not going to be eating 3 kilos of strawberries, but as you can see here, there are an incredible amount of nutrients packed into just 1,000 calories. I mean, you're getting basically all of your daily intake of everything just from those 1,000 calories of strawberries. Real quick, if you would like to reach peak performance, I've left no stone unturned to giving you everything that you could possibly need, including an entire course on how to optimize your nutrition. So if that is at all interesting to you, I'll leave a link in the description below. Number 3 is that fruit is the healthiest form of carbohydrate. Realistically, fruit is the only form of carbohydrate that we would have had naturally occurring in our environment over a very, very long period of time. Over our evolution, fruit was going to be the primary source of our carbohydrates. When we look at most modern day carbohydrates, things like refined sugars, things like our rices and breads, all this stuff is giving carbohydrates a bad name. When people look at fruit, they think, oh no, we don't want to eat fruit because that's so high in sugar. You have not been doing your homework, because the fruit from sugar is incomparable to the refined sugar that you get from sweets from lollies. I remember when I was a young kid, I had a massive bowl of fruit and I was like, wow, look at me, look how great I am for eating a bowl of fruit. And my uncle said to me, mate, that is basically the same as eating a bowl of lollies. The reality is, sugar from fruit is incredibly different from sugar that is being refined and processed. The reason for that is that the sugar from fruit, not only does it have a lot of nutrients in it, but it's also bound with fiber and with water. Because there is water and there is fiber going with the sugar, it slows down the ability for your body to absorb and digest that sugar. When you look at the effects that sugar has on your insulin sensitivity, you almost always see a worsening of insulin sensitivity for people that are eating a lot of refined sugars. But there's not been a single study that has shown a worsening of insulin sensitivity with high intakes of fruit, whole fruit. There has been studies that have shown that people consuming a lot of fruit juice can worsen their insulin sensitivity. When you're eating a whole fruit, when you're having the fiber in there, when you're having the water in there, this is not something you should be concerned about when it comes to the sugar inside of fruit. Fruit is an incredible naturally occurring carbohydrate that we should be consuming. We want carbohydrates in our system. It's a great way for us to actually get energy. Carbs is going to be a great thing for us to perform better during our workouts. It's great for our hormone levels. It's something that we should have, but we're just not getting carbs from the right sources right now. But fruit is going to be the best form of carbohydrate. Number 4 is that fruit is just incredibly filling. I mean, I just showed you how much fruit you need to eat to get 1,000 calories worth of fruit in. For the amount of calories you're consuming, fruit is incredibly filling. And the reason for this, as we've just previously discussed, is it's high in water and it is high in fiber. Because it's high in water, it means that you're consuming a lot of volume, but as we know, water has 0 calories. Same with fiber, it's just a whole lot of volume, but you're not actually digesting all of that. It's a lot of volume in your stomach. It makes you feel really full, but it's not a whole lot of calories. At the end of the day, for most people, the issue they have with losing fat is that they feel really hungry. They want to overeat. When you eat something like fruit, which is high in fiber, it is high in water, you feel full. You don't want to eat more because you have a lot of food in your stomach, even though you haven't consumed a lot of calories. And that is a sweet spot. That's where you start losing weight, where you feel full, you don't feel really hungry, but your calorie levels are overall very, very low. Number 5 is fruit is absolutely delicious. When you think about a healthy food, most of the time, healthy foods, people just consider foods that don't taste too good. I mean, my parents were definitely like that when we were younger. The healthiest foods were just the foods that we didn't like eating, the foods that were the most disgusting, because they must be healthy. No one would eat them otherwise. They must somehow be healthy because they taste gross. The great thing about fruit is not only is it full of fiber, full of water, full of nutrients, very low in calories, which also tastes absolutely delicious. It's just like a lolly. And if you've cut out a lot of processed food, a lot of garbage, then this really does just feel like a lolly for you. It does feel like some sort of chocolate bar, some sort of natural sweet, but because it is not super high in calories, it's not like a Snickers bar where you have 200 grams and you've reached 1,000 calories. Go eat 2 kilos of it. You're probably still under 1,000 calories. You can eat so much volume of this and it tastes so damn good. You're probably not going to get fat eating this stuff. Of course, if you want to lose fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit. But eating something like fruit is going to make it very, very difficult for you to overeat. And it's why I personally think it is the greatest food for losing fat. So hopefully you're going to start throwing some fruit into the diet now, because fruit is absolutely amazing. Don't be an idiot and fear the sugar in fruit. It is incomparable to the refined sugars that you find, which are stripped of their fiber and water. Fruit is going to make you feel incredibly full. It's very low in calories. It tastes amazing. It's very, very nutrient dense. It's absolutely something that we want in our diet. I'm absolutely loading up the fruit. I'm going very, very long on the fruit. I'm eating at least 1 kilo of fruit a day because of how much I love it. It tastes great. It fills me up. It's got a lot of nutrients, something you want in the diet. So hopefully you learned something new today. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. There's probably a video somewhere around here that you might be interested in. So I will see you in one of those.